Hey everyone, and welcome back to Small Screen Sagas. I'm your host Nicole, and today I'll be talking about From Season 3, Episode 7, entitled These Fragile Lives. This is my instant cast. I just finished watching. It was good. It was good. My thoughts are that it was good. Those are my thoughts. In the podcast. Those are my thoughts. No. Let's talk about Tabitha first. I'm so glad she sort of stuck up for herself. Not sort of. She stuck up for herself to Jim because Jim was trying to gaslight her, as he always does, dismissing her feelings, her opinions, as if his is the only one that matters. And Tabitha's saying, I saw this place when I was a child, before anything else, before I got here. It's not like I had these dreams once I got here. I saw this place before I got here. You're going to listen to me. I don't know what the significance of that means. I don't know what was scary to me as a child because the dream always stopped right before I could see what was on the other side of that rock. But this place is scary to me. I've seen this place before. Now, I don't know if it was just camera work at that time, but when she was talking and she's like, every time, like whatever was on the other side of the rock, it showed Ethan. I don't know. I was like, wait, is Ethan a monster? Is Ethan the little boy in white or something? I don't know. Maybe she sees the little boy in white. I don't know what she saw, but it doesn't seem like if she was a child when she saw this, it'd be like a little boy in white that was scaring her. But hopefully we will get to what she was seeing on the other side of those rocks eventually. But I like how Jada was like kind of deciding like, yo, we really don't have control over our lives. Like, this was destined. You were always going to come here. You were always going to see the tree in that road, no matter what. No matter if Thomas had died, no matter if you guys were on a family vacation, whatever the case, you were always led to be here. And I feel like with him saying that and Jim finally listening, we'll see what comes of it next week. Randall and Julie, I don't have much to say for that. He's sort of opening up. He's probably going to tell her about the cicadas. Her seeing those stones where Boyd was, I think in season 2, after he woke up, when he saw them all, that was that same spot. So I'm glad Randall was like, let's leave. Whatever she was feeling, now's not the time to investigate with just the two of you there. The two that were also affected out of the 3 and this close tonight. So I'm glad that Randall was like, let's turn it around. I'll tell you on the way back what I saw. And hopefully he does. And I'm kind of curious of where that will go. I am curious of what's going to happen there. But luckily, they did turn around because I'm like, do not investigate this close to dark. And don't investigate when there's only 2 of you guys. Bring a whole group of people out there to investigate. Elgin. Okay, so when Elgin went down there, I was like, okay, this is the same place that Victor's mom had him hide. We know there's a significance of this place. This is also the same place that Jade, I believe, went down there, like in season 1, maybe. He went down there, but he didn't know that you can move the cabinet. So with the monster lady saying, talking to Elgin now and telling her stuff and having pictures print out on her behalf, I'm curious where that's going to go. At the same time, I'm also like, Elgin, why haven't you start talking to somebody. Tell somebody what is going on with what you're seeing. I mean, he sort of did, but not really. I think last week he sort of did a little bit, but with Julie. But no, you need to go a little deeper than this. Okay, the lady cop. I didn't catch her name. I forgot her name. But she's just acting... she's an asshole. Like, I kind of was feeling for her when she first got there. I'm like, okay, duh. Yeah, I would have been shooting my gun off too. I would have been freaking out as well. But her all up in Boyd's face? No. What do you need the gun for? The gun doesn't kill the monster. So what else would you need the gun for? Are you going to kill a resident if you freak out? When Boyd said, you come back here and we're going to have a problem, I'm like, yes, tell her. She's acting like a cop. Like a cop. And like her word is just everything. And even with Kenny, I thought him talking to her at the diner saying like, yo, you're not the first person that comes here like a Jim, asking all the questions, like a Jade, asking all these questions like we haven't asked it before. We haven't thought of anything and tried to troubleshoot what this place is and what all this means. Either you're going to go down a big rabbit hole and find yourself crazy, or you're going to go down a rabbit hole and end up with nothing like us. I somewhat agree with what Kenny was telling her, but at the same time, it doesn't hurt to get a different perspective. Just because you guys have all talked it out, thought it out, and came to nothing, I think you should do it each time. Because a different person is going to have a different perspective. They may realize something that you didn't. They may have had a life experience on the outside that gives them a clue. Like when Bhakta, when her grandma's, nursery rhymes gave him a clue. So it doesn't hurt that she can ask these questions and they can talk it out. But her whole attitude, her whole, you guys adapted and all this, and then coming in Boyd's face, I'm not going to change clothes. I'm not going to adapt here. Lady, you're going to die. You're acting like Randall. You're acting just like how Randall acted when he got here, because Jade and Jim, when they got there, they were a little bit of asshole, but they weren't on the level of Randall. They're not on the level of this lady. She needs to check herself. She's going to end up getting either herself or someone else hurt. Now, Victor yelling at the dummy was too funny to me. He was getting so frustrated, so mad at that dummy. And I get Henry like, yo, it's just a toy. Because, yes, he knows there's monsters, but he's like, come on, how much more do I just think everything's real, So with him, like, kind of like, yo, it's just a toy, chill out. And Victor's like, nah, I got to go talk to someone else. I got to go do it somewhere else. I need answers. He has the answers, the toy. And when Henry told Donna, like, his feelings, like, damn, for a split second when I was in his room, I wish I never came here, and I wish I would have just been able to continue thinking he was dead. And he feels horrible. And I don't know. I feel him on that, because it's one thing. Like, I always feel for parents who kids go missing, or any family member who goes missing and you just don't get answers at all. But it's at least if you know the person died. Like, we'll use an example of Natalie Holloway. Natalie Holloway went missing, but they know she's dead. But imagine if you didn't know your child was dead. In this case, Victor's dad assumed he was dead. So he got closure. Even though I guess he technically didn't know for sure, he was able to somewhat get closure. But now that he's come back here and it's like, no, my kid is not dead. He's actually been in this horrible place for the last 50 years. And things are really, really bad here. And it's a nightmare. He's been living this nightmare. And now I'm in this nightmare with him. And look at him now. He's trying to talk to a toy. Like, yeah, I get it. I get him having that moment, that thought, like, it would be easier kind of if you thought he died, because at least it's over for him. He's not in pain. He's not scared. But here, he is scared. He could potentially be in pain with these monsters and everything else. So I don't fault for Henry for that. I just feel bad. Like, I get it. I feel bad. I just feel really bad. I mean, I feel bad for all of them, but yeah, I feel bad for Henry. All right. The only other story, I know I went through this fast. So this is my instant cast, okay? I think I enjoy it better this way, just kind of talking it out after watching Fatima. Oh my gosh. I mean, so I don't even know what to say, because part of me felt so bad. Like, she was being a bitch. I get it. Like, you're stressed. You're freaking out. You're eating rotten food. You thought you were pregnant. Now you're not pregnant, but you can literally feel this baby in you. And you feel like you're about to go crazy. And you know what happens when people go crazy. Let's talk about the Donna thing when she talked to Boyd. We'll talk about that. But I feel for her. But all that say is, like, you're not making things easy. You're not helping the situation where these people, your friends and family, your new husband, they're trying to help you. And, like, all you keep doing is pushing people away. And I'm afraid she is becoming a monster. I think that's very clear at this point. I think we've sort of been saying it. I saw a post online where they were talking about her tooth that fell out a few weeks ago. And they mentioned something about a tooth. Did we find a tooth? Somebody found a tooth somewhere. And I don't know. And then with her stomach sucking in this week, and she only can eat. I mean, all signs are pointing to her becoming a monster. But if she is becoming a monster, how? Why? Why her out of all people? What did she do to become a monster? Because that would freak me out more than anything. Like, how are you all of a sudden becoming a monster? Am I next? You're not pregnant. So what exactly happened to make you all of a sudden turn? And And Boyd didn't. He had the worms in him. And I think Marielle, she mentioned she had worms in her. And that's what would scare the mess out of me. Even though I know that's not where their mind is going right now. Like, oh, what if she's turning into a monster? No, they're not thinking that. They're thinking she's having a psychosis. Poor Ellis trying to get her medicine. He's trying to do whatever to help DBS support her husband. And it's just bad. It's all bad. And then when Tilly comes at the end, crazy Tilly. I know everyone's like, we don't trust Tilly, da-da-da. I'm still saying that. I don't know what it is. You just have to go with your gut feeling. And I feel like Tilly is still an other. Even though, like, yes, it looks like she's about to die. Her telling Fatima to run. Run so she can be out in the woods with the monsters and just end up being one of them. Like, I don't know. I still don't trust Tilly, even if she is dead. And it's sad that I don't trust her because it's like, oh, if someone's nice to you, if a stranger's nice to you and they're supportive, automatically go on the I don't trust this person train. But, like, I guess that's the world we live in. And it's not only just being nice. Like, even Ellis asked her, like, why? She's like, oh, well, I'm old and I have cancer, like, da-da-da. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, Tilly. You just everywhere. You're always somewhere. And I don't know. I don't think we can trust you still. I'm sorry that you died. If you are dead. And hopefully Fatima doesn't run off. And it's about to be night. They already mentioned that. So we'll see what happens next week. We know it was an accident. It happened with Dale and Ellis when he got stabbed. Accidents happen. I mean, this was a pretty much an accident. But it would have been definitely manslaughter in the real world. Because you should have never picked up that tool. Yeah, I don't know. That was interesting. I feel like that is very interesting where that's going to go. Site for that next week. And when Donna talking to Boyd saying like, yo, whether she's going crazy or whether she has some worms in her, we have to think about everyone in the colony house. So she can't stay here. I don't think it's best she stay here. And that makes perfect sense. I completely agree. I know Boyd sort of seemed offended, and he was like, yo, we're good. Like, he gets it. But, yeah, I get it, too. She should not stay in the colony house if she's going through this psychosis where they have to have guards watching. She needs to either go stay with Christy Mario, if they're okay with that, or they need kick Sarah out of her house. How does she get a whole house to herself and stay there? Or Sarah stay and they stay with Sarah or something. But they definitely don't need to be in the colony house where there's so many lives that are at risk. Yeah, at the same time, someone might say, no, it's better for her to be around all these people where multiple people can stand guard versus if she's in a house with her and Ellis and maybe a Sarah or somebody, then there's only one or two people to stand guard. So I don't know. I hope she's not running off next week. I don't know. Haven't seen a trailer or anything for the next week's episode yet, but it was a good episode. It was good. It was sad. It was sad. I just feel bad for Fatima because it's like, damn, if I was her, I'd be like, why me? Like, if I'm not pregnant, why am I going through all this shit? Why is it happening to me? And then I'd be kind of scared, like, who's next? Can anyone all of a sudden just turn into a monster? Like, exactly what happened to make her turn into a monster? I have no idea. I have no idea what happened to her to make her turn this way. But that is all I got. It was a nice, quick talking about From. We got a few more episodes left. If you guys want to be a part of the pod or give me feedback, whatever the case, hit me up, host@theverdictsin.com or on Twitter or Facebook.com/verdictsin. Until then, I'm Nicole. Have a good one.